Welcome to Dread Vale, where chilling stories and dark legends come to life. Subscribe, follow, and share if you're ready to cross the veil.
Title: The House That Wept. Blood. Tagline: Some homes hold memories, others hold grudges. Chapter 1. The return rain splattered against the windshield like tapping fingers, each drop faster than the last, as Lena drove through the forgotten roads of Black Hollow. She hadn't been back in 15 years. Not since her family abandoned their ancestral home after her twin sister, Lyra, vanished during a thunderstorm, never to be found. Now, as a newly minted psychologist and daughter of tragedy, Lena was returning to sell the old family house. She told herself it was just a transaction. Nothing more, but deep down, she needed answers. The house stood at the edge of the woods like a scar refusing to fade, blackened wood, ivy-twisted walls, windows that resembled wide, watchful eyes. Inside, the air felt thick, like someone had been holding their breath for years. Chapter 2. Voices in the walls. The first night, Lena dreamed of Lyra standing at the foot of her bed, mouth sewn shut, eyes brimming with tears. When Lena reached for her, her sister whispered one word without speaking: wrong. She woke up with scratches on her arm, 3 parallel lines, like claw marks. The second night, she heard laughter, childish, giddy laughter, coming from the attic. But the attic was locked from the outside. When she found the key, something inside her said, "Don't." She opened it anyway. Inside were her sister's old toys. A broken porcelain doll lay in the middle, with a cracked face and eyes filled with actual moisture. Behind it, written in chalk on the wall: "Play with me." Chapter 3. The echo game. Lena began documenting the strange occurrences for scientific observation: flickering lights, objects moving, a voice that whispered her name just as she drifted off to sleep. But the house didn't like being analyzed. One evening, she found a tape recorder playing by itself. The voice on the tape wasn't hers. It wasn't Lyra's either. It was their mother, who had died in a psychiatric ward, repeating over and over. It watches. It copies. It punishes. Then the tape rewound itself. Chapter 4. The First Twist. Desperate for help, Lena contacted Jonah, a paranormal researcher she once dated in college. He arrived skeptical but agreed to stay for a few days. The night he set up cameras, they captured something chilling. Lena standing in the hallway at 3:17 a.m. But she had no memory of it. Her eyes were black. Her reflection didn't mimic her movements. Worse, she wasn't alone in the footage. Lyra stood behind her, translucent, smiling. But Jonah found something else. The blueprints of the house. According to the original design, there was a room behind the basement wall that shouldn't exist. A mirror room. Chapter 5. The room that shouldn't be. They broke through the wall. Dust filled the air like ash. The hidden room had no door, just a giant mirror covering the far wall, and no reflection. When Lena stepped closer, the mirror rippled, and pulled her in. Inside was a distorted version of the house. The sky was crimson. Shadows moved on their own. Time didn't exist. And Lyra was there, waiting. Only it wasn't Lyra anymore. It was something that wore her face. Chapter 6. Emotional reckoning. In this twisted world, Lena was forced to relive the day Lyra vanished, again and again. Each time, she tried to change the outcome, but each attempt twisted reality further. Lyra begged for help, then turned feral. Screamed with voices that weren't human. Then came the ultimate reveal. Lyra didn't die, Lena did. 15 years ago, the sisters played a game of hide and seek in the storm. Lena slipped, cracked her skull on a stone, and drowned. Lyra had lived her whole life tormented, guilt-ridden, and was the one who ended up institutionalized. The Lena who returned. A fragmented echo of a girl who never moved on. Chapter 7. Reality collapse. Jonah, still in the real world, was trying to pull her back with ritual tools. But the house resisted. It bled from the walls, whispered his dead mother's name, showed him his own corpse. Lena, inside the mirror world, had a choice: stay and consume herself in guilt, or shatter the mirror, even if it meant destroying herself. She whispered a final goodbye to Lyra, pressed her hand to the glass, and screamed. Chapter 8. The final twist. Jonah woke up outside the ruins of the house. Burned to the ground. No Lena. No tapes. No trace of the mirror room. The town sheriff called it spontaneous combustion. But weeks later, Jonah found a letter in his mailbox. No return address. Just a note, written in a child's scrawl. Thanks for helping me come home. Lena and Lyra, and tucked inside. A shard of glass, still bleeding. Chapter 9, Shatter. The mirror began to crack. Not from Lena's touch, but from something deeper, grief unspoken, pain unhealed. Her tears didn't fall, they floated upward, warping the air, bending time. Lyra stood behind her in the red-shadowed world, her face split between childlike innocence and something monstrous. You left me, she whispered, voice layered with other voices, mother, father, strangers. You died, and I was never me again. Lena turned. Her hand trembled, not with fear, but understanding. No, you didn't leave me. I clung to you. I became the thing that haunts you. She held out her hand. Lyra hesitated, then reached. Their fingers touched. The mirror shattered in a scream of light and darkness, pulling both of them into a storm of memory, wind, and silence. Chapter 10. The other side. Jonah stood alone in the ruins. The moment the mirror broke, the house caved in, roof buckling like a broken spine. He barely escaped. Fire danced through the windows, yet there was no heat, only the sound of weeping. He never saw Lena again, or so he thought. Back in his apartment in Chicago, weeks passed in silence. He examined the photos from the investigation. Frames where Lena should have appeared, but didn't. Videos where her voice was replaced with static. Then came the letter. No return address. Just a small, white envelope with his name in perfect cursive, inside. You broke the loop. Thank you for remembering us. It was signed, Lena and Lyra. Taped to the bottom was a small photograph, two twin girls standing outside the house. In the background, Jonah, as a child, smiling. Chapter 11. The final truth. Jonah couldn't sleep. He started digging. Old records. Census documents. Photos. He searched for the story of the twins. What he found chilled him to the bone. There were no twins named Lena and Lyra who lived in Black Hollow. There were, however, two boys, Jonah's older brothers, who went missing at that same house in 1987. One body was found. The other never was. And Jonah had no memory of his life before age 8. He returned to the ruins alone. The town had since fenced it off, but he walked the path through the woods anyway, guided by instinct more than logic. And there, buried beneath the collapsed mirror room, he found it. A toy robot. One he remembered from a dream, and scratched on its side. We all forget to survive. Then, the wind whispered something that wasn't wind. Epilogue. The loop. Years passed. The house was never rebuilt, but hikers sometimes reported strange happenings, seeing children playing in the woods, laughter echoing on windless nights, or a woman's voice crying out from the earth. Jonah left his field entirely, became a recluse. But every year, on the same night, he dreams of twin girls, standing in a house that isn't burning anymore. Sometimes, he dreams of them happy. Sometimes, he hears them screaming. And sometimes, he sees himself among them. You see, some houses don't just haunt. Some houses remember. Some houses consume. And sometimes, they give you back only what they want you to believe.